Welcome back, fans, to SPW Deadpoolapalooza underway. Thanks for joining us once again, and if this is your first time on the channel, do the thing, like, subscribe, because tonight's a bit of a special occasion. We're doing 3 matches, all Deadpool related, and this one, in fact, is a Hell in the Cell. And it features, I'll tell you right now, our hardcore champion Wolverine, obviously because of Deadpool and Wolverine. But you know what? I had a plethora of people that I could have chosen to have him go up against. But my favorite fight, still, not unlike in the movie, it's been, what, 13 years in the making, I think Deadpool says. And it was over in a flash. But that was, of course, Deadpool and Sabertooth, and there it is. There's the Sabertooth severed head. But wait, who's that holding it? Ha ha! Victor Creed. That's my X-Men '97 version of of Sabertooth, and pretty spot on, gotta admit. But obviously, Sabertooth and Wolverine, one of the quintessential matchups of all time, and over too soon. It was too big of a build-up. Even Deadpool was in on the build-up, and it was over like that. So, pardon my disappointment, but I felt like we needed a little bit more serious of a Sabertooth and Wolverine, a more properly done matchup. So, tonight, once again, in the Hell in the Cell, but not only that, but we are having it for the Hardcore Championship. Wolverine is the current champ, and I couldn't think of anybody better than his pretty much biggest rival. Every year on his birthday, Sabertooth shows up. Does that mean it's his birthday? Maybe it's been a year since the two have fought. I feel like they've fought once on the channel. It was so long ago, I barely remember it, so it didn't matter. It was like, well, this needs to happen every once in a while, am I right? But I'm loving this entrance, incidentally. Sabertooth coming down to the ring. He stands a hefty 6'6", 275. Which is kind of only funny because Wolverine, you know, again, you gotta love Deadpool. They almost answered my question directly. If you've been paying attention to the channel, I've always had a bit of a gripe about Hugh Jackman being 6 foot tall and being Wolverine. Wolverine is supposed to be like a short, little, runty guy, and he fights like a Wolverine. Like, anybody would pick a fight against him because you're like, yeah, I could take this guy. And then you definitely regret it. So that's the thing. He's a little Wolverine, right? That's why he's called that. And then, you know, of course, us little guys, we tend to be jealous. But they cast a 6 foot tall actor. It's fine. Obviously, they made the right choice. But I love that in the movie, they did that little, oh, look at him, he's adorable. Just a little, you know, 5'3" version of Wolverine, and it looked as comical as it probably should. So, thank you, Ryan Reynolds, thank you, Deadpool, for showing me the error of my ways. Be like, oh, that's what it would look like? Yeah, okay, that's pretty silly. Maybe we shouldn't do that. But instead, we get this man, Hugh Jackman. And even though, you know, to be honest, that was Hugh Jackman, and I love that they did that. This is the real deal. This is the Wolverine that we know and love. Finally, again, in the costume, you gotta love the mask. Oh my god. When they showed the mask in the movie, I just geekdasm. I practically just squealed like a little girl. Oh my god, finally! Yeah, it was embarrassing. But you know what? I'm okay with it. Sometimes you don't get to pick your joy noise. Just whatever comes out of your body when you see something that's like it had that kind of a build-up. It just comes out. But Wolverine, like I said, 5'3", 300 pounds. Short, but stocky, we'll say, considering he outweighs his opponent by like 25 pounds and is literally like 1'3" shorter than him. According to the stats. Strictly according to the stats, and don't you worry, these are Wikipedia. They're not, we'll just say they're suspect. But, again, the title is on the line. Never mind the jokes, ladies and gentlemen. The jokes aside, Wolverine and Sabertooth in a Hell in the Cell. I mean, the story writes itself. Fans are booing the man, but I'm excited. I mean, again, like I'm glad they made it happen. That's really what Deadpool did so well. Is it just kind of tied up? I wouldn't say tied up, but it allowed a bunch of characters a proper send-off. Because a lot of them, you know, that's the way it goes in Hollywood. Franchises, you know, get started and they end just as quickly. You know, as quickly as our attention shifts to a new shiny thing, that's how quickly franchises change. So, incidentally, not everybody got the proper send-off. And I love the Deadpool and a.k.a. Marvel got to send everybody off in a way that felt appropriate for them. So, you gotta love the fan service. I definitely appreciate it. But the cage is now being lowered. Speaking of fan service, oh my god, let's do this. Let's freaking go! Already, immediately over the top rope. Wolverine to the outside. Sabertooth chasing him out. I don't know what's going to happen. Again, if it's your first time on the channel, I don't know what's going to happen anymore. You do. We set the stats, we let the computer AI do the thing, and we just cheer and watch. That's what happens. So, incidentally, oh wow, kick to the chops. Again, don't forget, I mean, this guy is literally a foot 3 inches taller than Wolverine. Maybe not Hugh Jackman, but definitely Wolverine, depending on how you're looking at things. But, yeah, Sabertooth, I mean, really, one of my favorite villains. I mean, only because Sabertooth and Wolverine have a very unique, I almost said camaraderie, because I was like, well, they kind of, you know, they're like friends slash brothers slash worst enemies slash nemesis, you know? There's a lot of slashes in there, and that's not entirely ironic. Hey! But, yeah, but, you know, Victor Creed, that's the whole thing, shows up once a year, every year on Wolverine's birthday, just for a little bit of a tussle. It's a bit of a wrestling match. Because really, I mean, when it's these two guys, like, they slice each other to shreds, but they each know it's only temporary, you know, for the other one. And then until they see each other the next year. They're like, all right, happy birthday, bub. We'll see you next Christmas. But once again, oh, this time Wolverine sending Sabertooth over the ropes. Does a little shadow boxing just to kind of play to the crowd. I mean, again, thanks for joining us on Deadpoolapalooza, because this is a unique experience. I used to do it where I'd have it all in one video, and every single time when I was uploading it was like, ooh, this is pushing the limits of what YouTube will allow. I mean, when you get to an hour plus in length, they kind of frown upon that. So I just figured, hey, why not do the thing like we normally do? We normally just do the one match. Even though it's a pay-per-view event, we're just gonna upload them all the same day. So hopefully you're getting to enjoy these all in a row, just like I intended. But you know, I still feel like breaking them up into their own individual matches is probably just for the best, makes things easier on everybody. Am I right? Let me know what you think. I'm always curious. I need some feedback, good or bad. It's cool. Just let me know. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. That's all I care about. You know, do the thing. Oh! Repeated kicks to the ribs now from Sabertooth. Wolverine, although springing back to his feet, a glutton for punishment, if nothing else. Sending Sabertooth once again over the top rope. This time, he looks like last time he was shadow boxing. This time he definitely needed to kind of catch his breath for a minute. I mean, he is an old man. Don't forget, this guy's like 200 plus years old. I mean, so Sabertooth, I guess, if they were brothers, right? I mean, I forget. I'm a little foggy on the details. Like, I feel like one of them was taken in by the other one's family. Because it's, let's see. Yeah, it's, something Howlett is Wolverine's real name. And then, yeah, Victor Creed, obviously. Sabertooth. So, going for the first pinfall. Sabertooth, Victor Creed, 1! Just a 1 count. No worries. James Howlett, that's the name. So they definitely are not of the same family. But if I recall, it's maybe a dad. It's kind of a common, you know, DNA for both of them. It's been a while on my Wolverine origins. And, you know, we like to pretend that movie never even happened. But, hey, the best thing about Wolverine Origins is that Ryan Reynolds was cast as Deadpool. And then we look where we're at now. I mean, from that terrible bomb to this amazing blockbuster. It's been quite the story. Oh, look at that sweet chin music from Wolverine. Lance flush, but thankfully Sabertooth was able to kind of shrug it off. I mean, again, both of these guys go back and forth. I mean, these two about as evenly matched as it gets. I honestly think they're both the same stats on our stat meter. But incidentally, yeah. Again, just something that in the comics and in the cartoon, which I'll be honest, like seeing both of these two in their this is basically the X-Men '97 version of both of these characters, with the exception of the mask, of course, because you know who doesn't want to see Hugh Jackman's handsome face. But in that movie, when the mask came out, I was right there with everybody, just on the edge of my seat. I honestly don't even remember much of the next scene because I was laughing so hard and just kind of in this giddy disarray. I imagine much of you were the same, but it was just too much fun, just all over the place, back and forth. I mean, that long battle scene. It's almost like the shot we're in right now. We're just kind of panning left to right, just watching just chaos unfold. Too much to even really keep track. But oh, and they are back in the ring. Speaking of keeping track, I looked away for a moment, and they're back inside the ring. Oh, Sabertooth putting on a submission hold. I mean, this is a Hell in the Cell, but obviously there's a ref there, so submissions definitely apply. Obviously, we're kind of generally expecting the old 1, 2, 3, but submissions, I mean, it can definitely happen. And in fact, with these two guys with healing factors, that might be your best bet. I don't know if you can keep either one of these men down for a 3 count, other than, you know, a very staying. I was going to say, watch that be a 3 count. I try not to put the kibosh. That's just a famous commentary thing. Any commentator will tell you, as soon as you say something, oh, look at that, Wolverine bounces off the cage like a ping pong. My goodness. But the kibosh is a famous, you know, announcer curse. As soon as you say something about somebody, the opposite's going to happen. So I try to keep things right down the middle. I mean, I'll be honest, I have my favorites, and it's hard to hide them. If you follow the channel, you know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, incidentally, I want Wolverine to win. I'll just say, okay. Did that happen? A Cheeto Wordle! I don't know why I said that. It's because Ryan Reynolds did. Oh, Wolverine sending Sabertooth into the cage. I'm surprised. I mean, so far, these two men. Oh, and then again! I was about to say it. I almost put the kibosh on him. Because I was like, both of these men doing a pretty good job of just using their bare hands as weapons. I mean, you'd think with these two, like, they'd be getting into the weapons. You assume they'd be using the cage. You assume that somebody would be bloodied at this point. But the night is still young. And again, once again, over the top rope. I mean, I do feel like Sabertooth kind of just content to just deliver punishment. I mean, really, like, he doesn't seem like much of a champion to me. And yes, that is my bias coming out once again. Sorry. Spreading my bias all over. But Wolverine's from day one. I mean, it's pretty much been Wolverine in Marvel and Batman in DC. If I had to pick one guy that is my favorite superhero, between those two universes I could choose. But if I just had to pick one, I don't know. Who would be your choice between Wolverine and Batman? Oh, Wolverine this time sent into the cage. Sabertooth now delivering a little bit of his own medicine. But Wolverine and Batman. If it was between those two, who would you pick? Because, man, I am torn. I loves me some Wolverine, but I'm not going to lie. I just love the fact that Batman has no powers. I mean, Wolverine is awesome because of his powers. Batman has none of that. And yet, he is Batman. So, I don't know. It's a tough choice. One that I won't make here. I might make... Because if I say it now, I might change my mind next episode. It's hard to say. As soon as I see Batman fight, I'll be like, Batman's my team! 1, 2... Oh, that was close! There for a second, I thought we had a new champion. Sabertooth apparently did as well. He seems to be actually disappointed. He might be looking forward to this championship more than I thought. I mean, it is the Hardcore Championship. Definitely nostalgia incarnate, because obviously it no longer exists in real wrestling. Oh, look at this combination. Oh, Wolverine is busted open. But look at that, 619, stunning Sabertooth. It looks like, oh, a big body shot drops him. And Wolverine, what has he got in store? Is this another... He is stalking his prey. Whoa-pa-cha! Wolverine, kick to the head. Will that be enough? 1, 2, 3. He does it. Wolverine defeats Sabertooth, defending once again his Hardcore Championship, and surprisingly, doing it with his bare hands. I mean, he is the Hardcore champ. He's proven it time and time again that, I mean, he's good with his fists or with weapons. Just give him anything, he'll turn it into a deadly object. It doesn't matter. But man, oh man, Wolverine, does it get much better? I don't know if it does. But again, we got one more match. Deadpoolapalooza. How about that? So stick around. We got a main event coming up and another title match. All right.